Before we begin, let me just start by saying that first, this is an unscripted video, so I apologize in advance for all the ums, buts, awkward pauses, and so on and so forth. Second, I also have to, because somehow people still don't understand, I don't hate watch this show, nor am I watching it hoping that we're gonna get writing and everything else as good as the first few seasons. I know the show is not as great as it used to be, but there's no point in me sitting here hate watching the whole damn thing. That being said, this episode really wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm kind of conflicted because there were things that I did like about it, but a good chunk of it was just really annoying to me. And honestly, I with how much I hate Gilly and Sam scenes, I kind of just want to give this episode a 10 out of 10 just because we didn't get any of those, but I'm not going to do that. Off the bat, I'll just tell you this right now for those of you who just want to know what I thought real quick. Euron's death sucked. Arya really annoyed the fuck out of me. Cleganebowl fight should have been longer. I love Jaime and Cersei. Jon and Dany were just wow. Tyrion is really pulling on my heartstrings here. And I don't want to sit here and watch people burn and die for 30 minutes so the showrunners can prove a point that Dany is crazy now, despite not writing it that way for the past 7 fucking seasons. That's essentially what I'm gonna be. That's essentially this video summed up. So if you want me to go into more detail, then keep watching. If not, then I'll see you guys for my review, I guess. But like I was saying, the episode was not really that bad. I know a lot of people love to exaggerate, saying it was the worst episode ever since this, and this. It wasn't really that bad, but like I said, I really don't want to sit here and watch people burn to death for like 30 minutes to just hone in this point that the showrunners are trying to make. And I gotta say, first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Fuck you to everybody making those videos about Drogon laying eggs and there being, like, multiple dragons, like, coming down and destroying Euron's ships, which, it's about fucking time she destroyed Euron's ships. Like, that, I love how it's, like, the first thing she made sure to go for. It's the first thing. Even though a majority of the battle was on land, she made sure to go for this motherfucker first, immediately. And I also gotta say, the Golden Company, I can see people using analogies right now for the Golden Company in this season, or this show in general. Big hype, big moment, and ultimately a letdown. I can see it now, and I don't agree with that analogy, but I gotta say, the Golden Company, I expected them to do way more than just appear on screen for 3 minutes. I want. There's a YouTuber out there who collects all clips for, like, individual characters. I forgot his name. I'm sure someone in the comment section will remind me, but I want this guy to go and take all the clips from this season of the Golden Company and compile them together. I promise you it'll be like 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes, tops. The Golden Company was a waste of gold and my time in general. I'm kind of annoyed about that. So let me just get the stuff I really didn't like out of the way so I can focus on what I did like, because there are things I actually liked in this episode and didn't. I hated Euron's death scene. I thought it was fucking stupid. Him fighting Jaime, I mean, oh, okay. I guess we were all expecting Theon or Yara to take out Euron, but the fact that Jaime is the one that takes him out, I mean, Kingslayer until the end. What are you gonna say? The other thing I really didn't like was, if you saw my preview breakdown, Arya and her plot armor. I really fucking hate that. Every time Arya shows up, somehow she manages to ruin something. And I know for a fact I'm gonna get a shit ton of dislikes for saying that. But Arya, I just did not give a fuck. And I gotta say, Preston wasn't the only person rooting for her to die this episode, because I just did not care about Arya and her perspective. Like, I understand innocents are dying, but another thing I didn't like was, we get it. Innocent people are dying and they're burning to death, and so are soldiers who have surrendered and lost the will to fight. We get it, but I felt as though the episode really drowned it out. Everything else that could have happened this episode, all the cool stuff with Jon, Dany, Tyrion, Davos, like all the characters you kind of care about, were drowned out by hordes of people running all over the place and just dying, just to hone in the message that Dany is crazy now. And that's something I kind of didn't like. I felt that it was a lot of wasted time of people dying. And especially for the second to last episode, you really don't want to waste, like, that much screen time. And you can tell that the fighting for the Cleganebowl. We finally got Cleganebowl, by the way. Everybody can shut the fuck up now. You finally got it. Shut up now. Please, leave me alone about it. There's always one message in every one of my videos for like the past 4 years. Carmine, do you know Cleganebowl is coming? I get it. Yes, it's coming. It's here. It's there. It happened. Shut up now, please. But if you notice, the Cleganebowl fight, you could tell that they were kind of not... They kind of didn't know what to do with it too much because they kept cutting away from it. And I'm like, no, I want to watch this. I don't want to see these guys fighting on stairs. I want to see them fighting on an even playing field. But what the hell is he? The fact that the mountain killed Qyburn, what the hell? He got stabbed in the face and he survived. I was like, whoa, what? He survived that? What the hell did Qyburn do to him? But now that Qyburn's dead, we'll never know. And we'll also never know anything about Qyburn and his experiment methods. Not to mention, the person who would know, Cersei, is also dead, I assume, crushed to death with Jaime. Now, I always assumed that Jaime would go out and he would end up killing Cersei. And not even that. I thought when Jaime left Brienne that he was going to go there to kill her. But no, he went there knowing fully well that she would die, and he wanted to die with her because that was always his destiny. They came into this world together, and they left together. And a lot of people are saying that ruined his character arc. And I have to argue, I don't think it does. We're not perfect people, and Jaime is the epitome of that. He's not perfect, he knows this, he tries to do his best, but at the end of the day, this is what he wanted. No matter how hard he tried to escape her, Cersei always brought him back. In one way or another, she had that magnetic pull on him, and we all know there's that one person in our lives who has that effect on us, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And at the end of the day, Jaime tried doing what he thought was the right thing, but he just couldn't stand knowing that there's a world out there without Cersei. It's tragic, and it's romantic in a sense, and I love it. So I think that was, in my opinion, the perfect ending for Jaime. It's the only ending that really matters right now for that character. Any other ending, I just couldn't have seen. My perfect ending for Jaime was always Cersei dies and he survives the battle, whatever that may be, and Dany just sends him off into exile. I feel now that this is kind of a better ending for show Jaime. Book Jaime, that's a different matter altogether. Show Jaime, I feel as though, and he's one of my secret characters, the characters I secretly like a lot. No, I feel like that ending for Jaime, even though I'm sure a lot of people are going to give me flack for it, saying it's stupid or whatever, there was really nothing else he could do. And it just shows how we're all imperfect human beings. And that when faced with change, sometimes we just don't want to change. Sometimes we just want to go back to what we know is comfortable, you know? I mean, how many times has you in the audience, you try to change something about your habit, and it's not comfortable for you, and you don't have that discipline, and you just go right back to your habits. I mean, I know I do, you know? So, Jaime is the same way. It's human emotion. It's only human. Jon Snow this episode didn't do that much. I wasn't a Jon Snow fan this episode, and that's fine. It wasn't his episode. It was a Mad Queen episode. Dany coming out of nowhere, just snapping like that. Someone on Twitter was like, "Hey, Khal Drogo had bells on his hair. Maybe she had PTSD and heard the bells, and that made her go." That's a really shitty explanation, and if that's the official explanation from Dave and Dan, that is awful. But apparently it's not. Apparently the official explanation from Dave and Dan as to why she went pissed off is because she had a personal vendetta. When she saw the Red Keep, she saw all that had been taken from her and her family, and she just went crazy. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to hone it in that she's insane now, or that she's ruthless, too ruthless. Maybe not too crazy over the edge like her father, but she's way too ruthless now. And I guess that's the pretense for the next episode where Arya or Jon is going to kill her or something like that. So, I don't know. I heard they filmed multiple endings, so I'm curious to see what is gonna happen. I know a lot of people have been spoiling it in the comments section, but I've been seeing different types of spoilers. I've been trying to avoid it, but, you know, I don't know. I will say, though, the one thing I feel they did right is as Dany is burning everything, we don't see her perspective. I thought that was done in good taste. Don't show her perspective, her going crazy, because whether you want it to or not, there are still some people out there who are Dany fans to the end, and they will defend everything she does. So I'm glad they didn't show her face. That way the Dany fans can keep fighting with Jon fans and Sansa fans the way I like it. I love that chaos when, like, two groups of people who are, different fans of a character fight each other. It's always entertaining to me. I love it. It's, yeah. But what else am I missing here? Tyrion this episode. I love Tyrion this episode. He really is the hero here, and I understand where he's coming from. But at the same time, I almost feel like he's having visions, or he's a prophet. Somehow he knew that all these innocent people would die. We're all sitting here going, yeah, Dany's not going to kill all the innocents. She's just going to go swooping around, destroying Euron's ships and the scorpions and the battlements, which she did do for like the first 2 minutes. Sorry about that. For the first 2 minutes that the battle began, she did do that. And then she landed, saw the Red Keep, and just went loco. There was no way he could have known that unless he read the script ahead of time, which it's Tyrion. He drinks and he knows things, and he probably knew the script. So, what are you going to do? What else am I forgetting here? Besides Arya, which I don't even want to go into anymore. Varys, I feel as though... I love Varys. Varys is my boy, but... God damn, I don't know how to feel about his ending. That was incredibly brutal, and I've always loved the character. I thought the character was great, but he flipped on Dany way too fast. So I can't say I'm too sympathetic towards it. He flipped on her way too quickly. Way too quickly. So... And I gotta say, in terms of acting, I did like Jon and Dany here, but I mostly liked Jaime and Cersei. Lena Headey acted her heart out this episode. I actually discussed this with a couple of people just now. Lena Headey was fantastic this episode. I felt incredibly bad for her. I felt very sympathetic towards her when Jaime finally arrived. And I am glad that, even though she's an awful person, they got to be together in the end. And once again, that's really the only ending I can envision for the both of them. And it's a shame that no one got to kill them. No one at all, but what are you gonna do? And yeah, the episode wasn't bad. I just really wish that a good chunk of it was more battle than one-shot kills. Like I said, Dany really came in and Drogon fucked everything up. Took out Euron, took out the Golden Company, took out a bulk of the Lannister forces. I don't even think there are any Lannister soldiers left. If there are, holy shit, guys. You better strip that armor. Holy fuck. But no, I just wish a majority of it was battle, maybe some siege tactics going on, but at the same time, there is a dragon here, and we finally get to see what a dragon can really do against a large city, and it is terrifying and devastating, and it was awesome. I thought the episode was really not bad. In terms of battle so far this season, this is probably the best battle scene we've gotten. And it wasn't even a battle. It was more like a slaughter. What Dany and her forces did to the defenders of King's Landing reminds me of what the Night King did to the people of Winterfell during that fight. They just came in and steamrolled over everybody, and it was crazy. But the episode really wasn't that bad. The writing was fairly well in certain places, but overall, my one gripe is Arya's plot armor kind of fucking sucked, and I really just hated just seeing so many innocent people die constantly. It really just felt like they were just trying to drone that into your head that what Dany is doing is wrong. Like, I don't need you to keep showing me thousands of people burning to death. I get it. It's in my brain before you had to show me. So yeah, this is just my ranting, my first impressions. The episode wasn't that bad. I'm sure there's going to be people who hate watch the show saying, "Come on, you're fucking insane, the episode was the worst thing ever." That's fine. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of the episode. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.